And the reason we're going over it, because we're at the end of the unit. So that means that we're going over these homework problems. These are the only homework problems I could find from 111. And we'll start from there, and then probably Thursday go over the test. Okay? So that means that when I go over the test Thursday, that means that I'll assign a start date, which will probably be Thursday, and the end date will be next Thursday. And therefore, the homework will probably cut off Tuesday. So you might want to write that down. Since I'm going to be starting the test, since I'm going to be going over the test Thursday, that means the test will start Thursday. It will end next Thursday. Therefore, the homework will probably cut off Tuesday. I always give students 1 day of class before the test is over to answer to ask questions. That's why I leave it open until the next Tuesday. Test will end Thursday. Next Thursday. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Therefore, and when I assign all this, it will all be on website. It will all be on My Labs Plus. So if you have a brain lapse and you forget, all you have to do is look it up on My Labs Plus, and it'll tell you when it's due, how many times you've got to take it, when the homework is due. My Labs Plus will tell you all that information after Thursday. This Thursday. It's coming up. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? You have three attempts to take the test. Takes the higher of the three. We'll go over all of that Thursday. Any questions about that? All right, 3 questions I got pulled up. Had them pulled up. There they are. The first one is pretty simple, 8.2. This is a test question. I'll tell you if it's a test question. If I don't like it, probably not going to be a test question. Because some of these questions, and I told you the homework questions we went over the other day, and that were kind of hinky, I don't put those on the test. I want to make sure you can do trig. I want to make sure you can do the basics of trig. I want to make sure you can do the identities of trig. Therefore, when you get to first and second calculus, you won't be having trouble. Okay? You can plug into formulas. I'm not worried about any of y'all plugging into formulas if they tell you what it is. All right. So here we go. We got sine theta is equal to, as y'all can tell, I don't feel good today. Sine of theta is equal to the square root of 5 over 10. Oscar had. So Oscar had means that I've got the opposite and I've got the hypotenuse. So therefore, I'm going to just draw a angle, because I don't know what I have. I'm just going to draw a triangle, and I'm going to, I'm not going to draw that. Doesn't matter. And yeah, let me change it to a quadrant because I don't want to confuse people. Let's change it to a quadrant. There we go. I'm going to use the first quadrant right now, and then we'll worry about the restriction over there in just a minute. So I've got the opposite is square root of 5, and then I've got 10 as the hypotenuse. Therefore, how do I find the adjacent? Use the Pythagorean theorem. 10 squared minus square root of 5 squared is equal to C. Take the square root of that. That's going to be 100 minus 25, minus 5. Oh, well. Minus 5, I'm not in the mood for this board either. I'm going to just cut it off and we'll just quit. Okay, the square root of 5 squared is 5, so that's going to be the square root of 95. You can leave it as the square root of 95 while you're doing your calculations, okay? Or you can put it in a decimal form. It doesn't matter to me. Just make sure you put it in the form of what the test wants when you get finished, okay? If they want exact, does it say exact? use fractions or numbers, so it don't really matter. I don't think it says including radicals, so probably leave it like that for right now. So that's the square root of 95. So what is the cosine? Well, they want to make sure that the cosine is less than 0. It says given that cosine of theta is less than 0. So what quadrant is that in? Well, all students take calculus. It's not this one, and it's not this one. Why? Because those are what? Positive. Positive. So it's got to be the second or the third. Okay? I don't really know. It doesn't say any other restriction, does it? Well, the opposite is what? Positive. So therefore, it throws it in the what? So it's this one right here. So the square root of 5, negative square root of 95, and 10. Now you can do the cosine. Cosine Oscar had a hunk. That'd be negative 95 over 10. So that's going to be negative square root of 95 over 10. This is the kind of stuff you need to know for the test. Whether you know what q sub 1 and q sub 2 is, that's irrelevant, okay? This is the kind of stuff you need to know. So I want to do another one after this one because I've seen a couple of questions sent in about this, and I'll tell you where the stick is. Here's where the stick is. It's right here. That's where the stick is. 99% of you can figure out what the cosine is. But what's the problem? Those two restrictions right there is what messes up students. Okay? You've got to draw a picture. You've got to do all students take calculus and say, okay, if cosine is less than, that means the cosine is what? Negative. Negative. So if the cosine's negative, it can't be here and here because all students take calculus. This is positive and this is positive. So it can't be these two. So it throws it over here. And then you throw and you can do this. You can say, okay, well, Hubert says it's in, let's say it's either here or here. Okay? Because I can't have it here and I can't have it here because it's negative. Now, let's go back to the original. I know my hypotenuse can never be what? Negative. So that goes here and that goes here. And then you say to yourself, well, my Oscar had, my opposite has to be positive. So there's only one triangle that the opposite is positive, and that's this one. Okay? It's got to be right here, square root of 5, because this is what? Negative square root of 5, and this is not negative. That's positive. So that's how you determine where your angle is. All right? And that should be your angle, no problem. And I'm not trying to be persnickety. I'm just trying, I have been teaching trig for a long time, and I know what's important because I teach Calc 1 and Calc 2 a good bit here. And that's why these are more important than, I'm just going to put 3.
Professor?
Yes, my name's Hubert. Yes.
I'm sorry, Hubert. We plugged in negative the square root of 95 over 10, and it's saying it's not correct.
I'm trying.
I just got the same thing, and mine said it's correct. Did you put the
There's the answer. Negative square root of 95 over 10.
Middle. That's what I did, and I got it right.
There's the answer. So you might have put the negative in front of the radical. That's not a problem. If you put negative 90 square root of 95 over 10, and you marks it wrong on the test, I'll give you the credit for it. But chances are, they probably want you to put the negative. They want you to hit negative, whatever. And somebody verify this if you got a computer and you're typing it in. Sometimes they want you to hit negative, and then they want you to hit the fraction symbol, and then put in the 90 square root of 95, and then this little box down here, you'll put a 10. Sometimes they want you to put the negative in front of the fraction. Somebody check that for me and see.
You're right.
That's it. Okay. So what do you take from this? When you're typing this in on the computer on the test, you type in negative. You type in the negative, Then you type in the A over B, whatever their fraction bar, and then you have those two windows, and that's where you put in your radical, square root of whatever, over 10, and I think it'll be a whole lot easier on you, okay? Now, what is the cosecant? Well, let's go back and look. Sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, and what? Cosecant. Well, that's going to be the reciprocal of this, which is going to be what? 10 over square root of 5, which is equal to square root of, or 10 times square root of 5 over what? 5, which is equal to what? 2 square root of 5. So type in 2 square root of 5 for the cosecant. And this is the kind of stuff you're supposed to know. I mean, by the end of the test, you should know by the end of the unit. This is the stuff that I really care about. Okay? Question, great. Complaint. Let's check it. So that's going, I don't forgot. 2 square root of 5. 2 square root of 5. 2 times square. There's the fraction symbol right there. 2 square root.
No, it's positive.
Fantastic. And the secant. Yes.
I have the exact same question, except it told me that was wrong, and it says it's positive square root 95 over 10.
You've probably got a different.
No, it might.
You might have the cosine of theta is greater than 0.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's those little bitty things. Thank you for interacting, though. It makes me feel better. Both of you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to get. I'm not going to give you any more.
I said yes, sir.
Huh? What?
I said yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, so what's the secant? Well, the secant is the opposite of the cosine. The cosine is 2 square root of 5. So 1 over 2 square root of 5, right? Or you could go back.
No.
What?
Cosine. So it'd be 10 square root of 95.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. The
Yeah,
secant
there you
is
go.
cosine. I'm sorry. Okay, so you can go back here and you can do 10 over the negative square root of 95 or whatever. You put the negative out front. So you could do negative, and then I'm just going to flip it, 10 over square root of 95. And then that's going to be 10 times square root of 95 over what?
95.
95, and then that's going to be negative, and then 5 will go in there and be 2 square root of 95 over what? 5 will go in there what? 1 time, 19 times, something like that. So that would be negative. So let's type that in the way it wants, the way it needs to be typed in. You would type in a negative. And my mouse would get out of the left. About, I'm just. Okay, my mouse is over here on the. Okay, I don't know what just happened, but I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm going to type in a negative, and then we'll type in the fraction bar, and I'm going to type in, I can't even see it, 2 square root of 95 over 19. And let's see what happens. That's the key. You got to put the negative in front of the fraction.
Excellent.
Now, if you forget to do that, then, you know, I'll fix it, but you'll have to see me after class, you know, after you take the test, and after you've taken it 3 times, or after you miss a couple of them like that on the test, then you need to go back and take the B version, and then if you can't work it out on the B version or the C version, just come back and see me and I'll give you credit for it. All right, the tangent. Oscar had a hunk of apple, so that's going to be the opposite, which is, I can't even find it now. Okay, the opposite is square root of 5 over what? Square root of 95, which is going to be a cluster. square root of 5 over the square root of 95, which means square root of 95 over the square root of 95, I know it's negative, is equal to 5 times the square root of 95, we'll worry about that, over 95. Okay, now what's 5 times 95? That's going to be what? 45, 495?
225.
Oh, sorry. What, how much?
475. Oops, sorry.
475? I don't know if that's even, I don't even know if that's reducible.
21.794.
Yeah, it's not reducible. So the square root of how much? 475 over 95?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think 25. Wait a minute. No, 95. No, that won't work. I think, yeah, 25 will work. Break 475 up. Let's see, $4.75 is going to be 16 and 19. What's 19
Yes.
times 25?
475.
That's right.
Okay. So that's going to be square root of 25 times the square root of what I say, 18? What I say? 19. Thank you. Over 95, and that's going to be 5 square root of 19 over 95, and that's going to be equal to square root of 19 over, what's 95? 5 is 1 to 95, what? I said it a while ago, 16 times or something. What is it? 19 times.
Yes, sir.
So square root of 19 over 19. Y'all are not very good. Y'all are just like standing there.
Your 9 looked like
Sounds
a 4 for a
snowflake
second.
So that's going to be fraction bar, square root of 19. Don't tell I do this very often. Over 19.
Doesn't have to be negative.
Oh yeah, thank you. I forgot. Negative. Good gosh. Let's just start. Let's just do another one. I'm getting tired of doing all these. Y'all can do those. I'm not worried about those. Let's just do one that's different. Okay. Now y'all try that one. If I can clear it. And that way you can start from the beginning. It says the square root of 5, negative square root of 5 over 10. Uh-oh, we got a negative. So you got to determine which one's negative. And that's the trick. That's one of the little tricks. And then you got to decide, okay, it's going to be in the second or the third quadrant. And then you got to define which one's which. Do yourself, please.
That's tomorrow.
Supposed to paint all day tomorrow.
Oh,
Awesome.
Lord.
My favorite.
I get to work out.
If we have to say it, want us to say it?
Go ahead and do all 6 because it's going to ask you for all 6 trig functions, so, or the other 5. I think y'all have determined that it's in the what quadrant? Third quadrant.
Yeah.
Is 10
That's fine, because
Make sure I didn't make a mistake. I did leave the negatives out there because we're going to make them positive soon as simplify them or rationalize.
I'm on a different one.
So it looks like the sine and the cosine, it doesn't really affect. Now we know the tangent is going to be positive, but we got to do so the tangent is going to be positive, and it's going to be square root of 5, square root of 95 over 95. And of course, I think we figured out a while ago that that's going to be 5 times the square root of 19 over 95, and that comes out to be square root of 19 over 19. Be positive because negative over a negative. So therefore, the cotangent is going to be positive. And the cotangent is going to be the opposite of the reciprocal, but you can go ahead and figure it. The cotangent is going to be equal to the square root of 95 times the square root of 5 over 5, which is going to be equal to the square root of 475, which is going to be the square root of 5, right? Be the square root of 25 would be 5 times the square root of 19 over what? 5? And that cancels, and you're left with the square root of 19.
That's what I got.
And then the cotangent and the tangent is going to be positive. The secant is going to be 10 square root of 95 over 95. And then you simplify it, so I'll go over here and do the secant. Secant is equal to negative 10 square root of 95 over 95, which is going to be negative 5 square root of 95 over 19. That's the secant. And then what else? The cosecant is going to be the square root -10 square root of 5 over 5, which is equal to -2 square root of 5. So that's the secant. So we've got the sine.
For secant, I'm gonna need 2 instead of 5. So 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't read my own writing and turned it into a 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. There's the sine, the cosine, the tangent, cotangent, secant, and the cosecant. I'm not going to type all those in, but I think most of y'all got those same answers. Okay? Expect a couple of those on the test. Make sure you know how to do those backwards and forwards. Next question. And another reason I picked these questions, well, maxed out. That's great. All right, go ahead and look at this one. Now, the only thing you need to worry about here is alternate interior angles. Remember your geometry? So, this angle right here is this angle right here.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing this problem.
And this angle right here is this angle right here. Now, if you don't know that, then this problem is difficult. Alternate interior angles. So, go to it. So, you got basically 2 triangles. You got this triangle at 60.4, and this angle is 34.29. And then you got this triangle, which is a little bit longer, but what does it have down here? It's got x plus L, or whatever you want to call it, x plus L, and then you got this angle at 1240. So you got 2 triangles. And you're going to find L right here, or X, or this L right there. You're going to find that, and then you're going to have the X plus L, you can put it in there. So go ahead and work it out. Probably going to be using the tangent, I would assume. Oscar had a hunk of apple. You got your opposite, your adjacent, so I would use your tangent. Why would I put this one on the test? Because you're thinking your alternate interior angles. You've got your x and your x plus L, or L and x plus L. You've got your tangent. You've got your trig function. It's got everything in it. Make sure your calculator's in degree mode. Tangent 34.29. 60.4 over L. Multiply both sides by L and divide by tangent of 34.29. Tangent 34.29. 29. So L is equal to 60.4 divided by the tangent of 34.29. And somebody give me that. It says round to the nearest whole. Well, let's see. I didn't even read. Observer at the top of the lighthouse began to watch a whale when the angle of depression was 1240. Just the whale turns away from the lighthouse. The angle of depression is blah, blah, blah. Find the travel by the whale approaches the lighthouse. So I guess they're finding the whole. I don't know if they're finding one or two or whatever. L, what does L come out to be?
88.
I guess we're just going to use 88 what? Feet?
Meters.
Okay. So now we got down here we've got 88 plus L. So we take out our handy eraser and we erase that. Now we've got 88 plus L. All right. Set it up. So that's going to be tangent of 1240 is equal to 60.4 over L plus 88 or X plus 88, I don't care. X plus 88 times tangent of 1240 is equal to 60.4. Divide by the tangent of 40. Divide by the tangent of 40, 1240. Divide by the tangent of 1240. And X plus 88 is equal to 60 over the tangent of 1240. And you're going to subtract 88 from that. X is equal to 60 over the tangent of 1240 minus 88. And somebody tell me what 60 divided by the tangent of 1240 minus 88 turns out to be. Just do it to the whole number. What'd you get?
181.
Pendleton, Easley, what'd y'all get?
181.
Okay, we got three 181s. So L is equal to 181. So this is 181, and this is 88. So I guess, I don't know what the question's asking. Is it asking for the whole length, or is it asking for just this one?
It's just asking for X.
Okay, 181. I didn't know they were asking for the total or not. 181, are they taking the whole numbers? Let's see if they take 181s.
Yeah, they do. Because I have the same one.
Nice work.
Oh, I said great work. Mine, so
All right, you said great work, so okay, well, good.
I'm pretty proud.
All right, you try that one, and that way you make sure you got 2 in your handy-dandy notebook.
Excellent. All right, guys. That's all right. I think I'm right.
That's good. Hope it's a different, it's not the second board either.
And somebody give me L right quick to the nearest foot. No, I'm sorry, nearest, whatever, meter. God,
81.
huh?
81.
Comes out to, is that what we got the last one?
Yeah.
Today,
No, we got 88 last
Okay.
time.
All right, so that's L. So we can now put 81 right here.
It's done with it.
Now do the second part. I guess it would be a problem if you didn't remember the alternate interior angles.
Nope, it's not on the board. It's different.
Say again? Okay. Easily, there are only 3 of y'all today? Okay, there's a notebook over there. Let's see.
No, there's 4.
Okay, just saw a notebook. Okay, there you are.
Yeah.
Hey, I wish I didn't have to wait till the 19th for a good movie to come out, but I guess I'm gonna have to wait till the 19th.
What
What
comes up the
movie's
19th?
coming out?
Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
With Jason.
Dang old Michael. Dang old Jason
Freddy.
needs to verse Michael. I wish that's my idea a long time ago before Freddy versus Jason come out. I always thought it'd be better to have Michael versus Jason. I believe Jason would win though.
Yeah, Jason's had way.
Jason swole up a little bit. Huh? And plus Jason's come back from a whole lot more than, I mean, Jason's been drowned, burned, blown up.
They both been shot to ribbons.
Yeah. Well, somebody drove a stake through, they put a stake through Jason's heart and he got struck by lightning and brought him back to life. So he's been through a little bit more than Michael's been through. Michael just gets put in a van and has a wreck and he comes out of the van alive. That's what happens to Michael. Nobody ever cuts off his head or anything. That was my interaction today, y'all. I'm sorry, I got a headache. Y'all settle down. All right, so tangent of, what is it, 1347 is equal to 69.4 over 81x plus 81. You can see the algebra. Okay, if you can't, then x plus 81 is equal to 69.4 divided by what? Tan of 1347. And then what are we going to do with that? Minus what? 81. So somebody give me x.
213 is what I got.
I got one that says 213. Anybody verify that? Nobody's gonna verify? Or are y'all still ciphering? Or did y'all just give up and quit?
We're just a bunch of buttercups and snowflakes.
Yep.
That's what snowflakes say.
All right, I got 1, 2, 13. Nobody else has anything? What you got?
Oh, I'm doing it just differently.
Oh, you're doing it differently.
Yeah.
We should get the same answer.
Yeah, I just.
Let's do, would anybody else get 213?
Or did you not get 213?
Yeah, did you not get 213? Pendleton, are y'all awake? Y'all looking at porn. Y'all wondering if I was looking at porn or something. That's a joke, okay? That's a joke. I'm trying to make light. Oh, shit.
Anyone else?
All right, I'm just gonna type in 213 since nobody's gonna verify.
I can't.
Me and Graham are working on another home. I was proving him wrong.
No, 213 is not correct. Somebody got another one?
I knew that my answer wouldn't be correct. So I was
No, because I was thinking 61. Because I thought you square.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna wait on y'all. I'm just gonna go ahead and type it in and y'all can. 201. Is that 201? Does that look like 201?
201.
Now, somebody take 69 divided by the tangent of 1347 and minus 81 and see if you come up with 201. Y'all wouldn't do it for me a while ago.
I got 201.
Good. Thank you, whoever that was. Thank you very much. All right, next. The other question that I deleted, of course. Let me see if I can pull it up, see if I can find it. It's only like 15. It would help if somebody that sent the question, there was one question. Oh gosh, I don't even know if I can find it now. There's so many. But these are all different classes. For some reason, my folders are not working. So if you know who you are, it was a triangle question, I believe. Lord, I ain't. There's one. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. That's 20%. Anybody got a? Let's see if this is it. No, we've done that one. We did that one. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Two questions and 8.4.
Was it 8.4 question?
That was the one that was
I mean, 6 and
So we're on the 10, 1, 7 through 11, 12.
Six times it because you can't have a
That's
radical on the power.
8.3.
Probably like
So then 19 times 6, whatever that equals.
so probably next week.
There it is. There's one. I thought we did that. We did that one, didn't we?
In the
Yes or no?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Let's try that one. This is a good test question. Anything having to do with the triangle is going to be on it. Anything having to do with a bunch of letters, chances are I'm not going to put them, especially plugging and chugging into a formula, I'm not
So the
going to
one
put on.
we did last time would be on the test. The one we just did. would
Yeah, the
be-
ones that we just did, yeah. All of it. This was a good test question. So you can set this up as 2. Set it up as 30 degrees, 33, N, and F. And of course, set this one up. F is going to be the same, D, and 60. The secondary, this is your primary. This is one you need to focus on. Why? Because it has more what? Information. You got to get F. So that means you got to get the opposite. Oscar had, you don't have the sign. Oscar had a hunk. Okay. Oscar had, you can do the sign, I'm sorry. So that would be sine of 30 is equal to F over 33. Multiply both sides by 33. F is equal to 33 times the sine 30. Somebody crank that out for me. 16.5. Did everybody get that?
It is correct.
Is equal to F. So now you've got 16.5
Survey says 6.
right there. Thank you. And of course, use your Pythagorean theorem to get H, because I think you need to find everything. I'm not sure. So 33 squared minus 16.5 squared, square root, somebody give me that, Well, just give me the whole thing. You don't have to give me the final answer.
That's
33 squared minus 116.5 squared, and then raise that to the 0.5 power. What do you get?
Square root of 19.
Square root of what?
Square root of 816.
Which is
28.57.
25 point what?
57.
Okay, did everybody get 25.57?
Yeah.
Plus square root.
Pendleton, did just some of y'all get that one?
I got 28.6.
Yeah, 28.57.
Yeah, it's not 25.
28.6.
28.6. Is that okay for some of y'all that, like, you know, splitting frog hairs? 28.6. Okay, let's jump over here. We've got sine of 60, opposite had. So Oscar had sine of 60 is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, which would be 16.5. So multiply both sides. So H is going to equal 16.5 divided by the sine of 60. Somebody give me H or D, whatever.
I'm doing this problem. They said to do it based off of like the instead of using sine and cosine. They said to use
Your special triangle equations.
yes, your special.
It should come out to be the same thing.
Yeah, it does.
And write it as.
And nobody
write
is
it with,
going to
like,
walk up to you at a
fractions.
construction site and say 11 square root of 3 over 2
That's
feet.
how they want you to answer it. So if
That's
you
how
do
they
it
want
the
to
sine
answer
way, you get
Well,
28.6.
I'll take either answer. I'm not going to take decimal feet over that. I'm not going to do it. So anyway, H is equal to what?
2.3 divided 2.5 sine times, 0.5 times sine of 60.
Times.
You're getting hypotenuse. And
Yeah.
You got to do divided.
you want to do tan, it's best sine.
16.5 divided by the sine of 60.
That'll come out to be 19.05,
19.0.
but yeah.
Okay, that's good enough for government work. And then, of course, now you can do the Pythagorean theorem and get the base. And then, of course, you can find the angles, 90 and 30. That's going to be 60 up here.
Yeah.
And, of course, 90 and 60, you're going to be 30 up here, so that's not a big deal. So that's how you find that. Now, yes, if you want to do the square root symbols, that's fine and dandy. I don't really have a preference there. Again, in real life, you're not going to give anybody a square root symbol. You're going to give them a decimal. Okay? Question on that one? Okay. All right, so this is what I want y'all to do over the next couple of days. I want you to send those questions in, because if you don't send any questions in, what am I going to assume? That you understand it. And Thursday, this is what we're going to do Thursday. Thursday, we're going to go over homework problems just like we did today, only I'm going to cover anybody that's sent. If it takes 10 minutes to cover them, or it takes an hour to cover them, we're going to cover them. But you got to send them. If you don't send them, I'm not going to see them. Okay? And if we finish the homework, then we're going to pull up the test and go through the test. Now, after I do the test, what will I do? I will assign what? I will assign the dates for the test as well as the dates for the homework. So that will take care of all the hammies worried about due dates. Any questions for me? All right, y'all have a good day and get that homework done and send in questions, okay?